So 8.6 is the law of sines and the law of cosines. And the law of sines is there's a special relationship between the angles of a triangle, any triangle, doesn't have to be a right triangle, any triangle, and the lengths of the opposite sides of the angles. So we don't have a drawing here, but I'm going to go ahead and put it together like this. So I'm going to call this angle A, angle B, and angle C. And then I'm going to give the opposite side of the angle a lowercase a. I'm going to give the opposite side of angle B the lowercase b. I'm going to give the opposite side of angle C a lowercase c. And if this is our triangle, then the law of sines applies, which means the sine of angle A over the length of the opposite side A is equal to the sine of angle B over the opposite length of the opposite side, lowercase b, and that's equal to the sine of angle C over C. So we can use this law of sines to solve problems. Look at this triangle over here, and we could find the value of b, right? And how can we do it? Because using the law of sines, we could say the sine of angle C, sine of 45, over the length of the opposite side, 30, is equal to sine of b, sine of 74, over b. And then we could solve for b, right? So it's going to go like this. It's going to go sine of angle C over BA, the length of BA, right, the opposite side, is equal to the sine of 74, I'm sorry, I'm going to say B here, of B over lowercase b. All right, so sine of angle C over BA is equal to sine of B, angle B, over the length of AC. Right? Maybe I can put an AC here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and plug in all of our values and let's solve for B. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as sine of 45 angle C over 30 is equal to sine of B, angle B, which is 74 over B. And so how do we solve for B? Well, you have to understand that sine of 45 is simply a number. Right? You plug that into your calculator, you're going to get some fraction. Sine of 74 is simply a number. So how do we solve for B? Well, we treat these expressions as if they're numbers. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply both sides by B. We're also going to multiply both sides by 30. And we're going to get B times sine of 45 is equal to 30 times sine of 74. So let's go ahead and do that. B times sine of 45 is equal to 30 times sine of 74. And that's going to happen once you cancel everything out, right? Multiply both sides by B. The B's on the right side cancel out. Multiply both sides by 30. The 30's on the left side cancel out. So we get this expression here. And again, you need to understand that sine of 45 is simply a number, right? So how do we solve for B? Well, we divide by that number. So we're going to divide by sine of 45 on both sides. And then we're going to plug this into a calculator, because what we're going to get is the equation B is equal to this rational number here, right? So let's go ahead and plug that into a calculator, and I'm going to put B is equal to, let's see, where can I get this? Let's do calculator. Oh, that's calendar. Calculator. So what am I doing here? So it's going to be 30 sine of 74, 30 sine 74 divided by, actually let me go ahead and put parentheses around the numerator, because sometimes that makes a difference. I'm going to do parentheses around the numerator and also parentheses around the denominator, like so. And I'm going to do sine of 45 parentheses. And then make sure that you're on degrees mode, not radians mode, degrees mode. In your calculator, hit equals, and we get 40 points. I'm just going to put 40 point, it says here round to the nearest 10th, right? Round to the nearest 10th. So I'm going to put 40.8. Box that. Okay, so here we have example number 2. It's the same idea. We want to solve for d, so we're going to do sine of O. However, we need angle E because they give us df, right? So we need angle E, and in order to get angle E, we need to apply the triangle sum theorem, right? So the angles of the triangle add up to 180. So it's going to be, first we're going to have to say measure angle E plus 82 plus 40 is equal to 180, so that we can get the measure of angle E. And then I'm going to get measure angle E. If I do some math here, it's going to be 122. I'll subtract 122. That's going to give me 58. So measure of angle E is 58. So now we're ready to go with the law of sines, right? So how is this going to work? It's going to go sine of 58 over 24 is equal to sine of 82 over d, and we could solve for d. So it's going to go sine of 58 over 24 is equal to the sine of 82 over d, and then we're going to use the same what is the procedure as we did on example number 1, where we're going to multiply both sides by d, canceling out the d's on the right side of the equation, and then we're going to multiply both sides by 24, canceling out the 24s on the left side of the equation, and that's going to leave us with d times sine of 58 is equal to 24 times the sine of 82. And then, of course, we need to solve for d, so we're going to divide by sine of 58. And both sides, of course. And then finally, we can go ahead and cancel out the sine 58 on the left side, leaving us with just d is equal to this expression here. So let's go ahead and drop that into a calculator and see what we get. So I'm coming back over to here, make sure I'm on degrees mode, and then I'm going to do parentheses 24 sine of 82, parentheses divided by parentheses sine of 58, parentheses equals. So it's 28 degrees. So I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, and it's going to be 28.0 degrees. And I'm going to box it. Right? So those are the law of sine problems. And if you flip over here, we want to go ahead and apply the law of sines on problem number 1 through 6. And I'll show the answers in the next video.